Hello everyone, it's Sab here in Paris and welcome to the mini vids. After the 5-day photo fun, I highlight each of you who took part in at least 3 of the 5 days with a little chat about 3 of the photographs that I really liked. So today we're going to start with Alice. There she is. Well, there's her name, and I'm going to launch right in. So at the end I will tell you also how to join the masterclass if you would like to, which is starting on Monday. So the first one I'm going to look at is this one. You can see this was the theme looking up, and the one I'm going to choose is this. And I kind of laughed at this at first. I was making fun of Alice's strange garden sculpture, which I was pretending looked a bit like a coat stand or something from the junkyard. But I quickly changed my mind because it has the infinity symbol in there, and I'm obsessed by the infinity symbol. My abstract paintings are called Infinity Squared. Alice has one, and I ended up by really liking it. Also, the composition is very carefully done. Alice has already done my masterclass twice, so I'm not surprised that she's taking extreme care. You might not realise, but that's the whole point. You don't realise when it's excellent. You often realise though when it's not very good. And there's exactly the same distance between that little black thing down in the bottom right and the side as there is between this black thing in the bottom left and the bottom. And that doesn't sound like it's very important, but it's essential. These are the tiny details that make things amazing as opposed to just a snap. And there's all sorts of twisty forms there. In its own right, it's a really interesting sculpture. There's something about circles, isn't there? Something very symbolic about circles and cycles. The thing I would offer as an observation is the sky is pretty monotone, pretty grey. I mean, the sky is what the sky is. She couldn't change the sky. But this is an opportunity maybe for playing around with the colour. Possibly the only colour you would change is the sky, because it's the only thing that if you put colour onto black, it would still be black. So you could play around with tinting it strange colours, pink or purple or green or something. That could be interesting. Right, let's look at the second one. And the second one, here's more. This is the theme of colour, and I'm going to choose this one. Really like this one. It kind of passed me by the first time I looked at it. Now I'm looking again, and I can see a lovely. The bottom is very green and 2 tones of green, and then the top sliver is about top quarter, maybe top fifth, is a lovely blue. So blue and green together is gorgeous. I asked for 2 colours. There's yellow in here as well, but it actually goes perfectly because they're all together, aren't they? Yellow, green, blue, they're all together. And there's also an echo of the yellow of the golf ball in the trees on the horizon. So it's coherent, as I would say. My suggestion for this would be there's an awful lot of green in the foreground, like the bottom third of the shot is green. How does that contribute to the shot? How does that strengthen the shot? Or, conversely, does it? Maybe it doesn't, and I would say it doesn't. She might have reasons for doing it, but if this were my shot, I might be tempted to chop off the bottom quarter of the photograph. And then you'd be much closer to the foreground interest, which has to be this golf ball, as opposed to the foreground interest of the golf ball is actually in the middle of the photograph, and the real foreground is just this green stuff. So the ball's slightly off to the left, which is nice. I can almost imagine her getting ready to swing at that thing. Okay, so that was number 2. And number 3. I said I was going to keep these 3 minutes in my head. Ain't going to happen. And this is number 3. So this was the theme of the past, things from the past, nostalgia, and she had a lovely collection, and she also had some things. They're all sort of items, like metal items. I'm going to go for this one. It's so stunning, so striking. It's from a different era. It's from a time when writing was an art, not just writing, choosing the words, but the implements. A beautiful plume, a special type of ink, the inkwell. And this is a gorgeous, highly decorated inkwell. I was going to say from somewhere, but I haven't got a clue where it's from. And there's a personal note. It was from a desk set from her grandfather. Old things often carry old memories, don't they? My comment on this, which could make it better, or something to bear in mind. Remember, if you're happy with your photographs, that means it's a good photograph, and you can stop there. But if you do want my reflections as your creativity coach, I would observe that the thing which strikes us most is this big bobbly top. It's not completely in focus. If anything's in focus here, I would say, looking down on the left there, I can see the patterns in the bottle are pretty much darn well in focus, as is the whatever we're seeing through the bottom of the bottle. Whereas the top thing isn't. So that might be something you want to bear in mind, because normally the thing that's biggest in the shot and closest to us, if that isn't in focus, that's the thing we look at first. And if it isn't in focus, it's kind of odd, because we kind of expect it to be in focus. Or we expect the main point of interest to be in focus. And if there's a conflict between what's in focus and what is clearly the main point of interest, our brain starts getting confused. So there you go, that's it, that's my 3, and I'm going to keep it at that, 3 for everyone. And that's the group. Well, you're all in the group actually, I'm just doing this in the group. And I would like to finish off by saying that all of this, by the way, thank you Alice, thank you so much for taking part. Alice has done my masterclass twice, and she's going to do it again. So if you want to be with Alice and friends, come along. Now, my masterclass is here. This year, make your smartphone photography sizzle in 2021. Starts on Monday, the 14th June. You can still get the early bird price now. I've got a couple of visuals to show you. All of these photographs that you see are taken on smartphones, of course, my smartphone, whichever smartphone I happen to have at the time. Starts now. We are starting now. You've missed nothing. You won't miss anything before the 1st, but having said that, we are in action right now in the group. And you go here. Go to infinitecreativitynow.com/photo and you can join us, and I really hope you do. So that's it. Thanks ever so much, Alice, for contributing. It was a pleasure to have you with me again, and I look forward to spending another while with you and seeing some more great photos. Bye for now.